Welcome to a Fresh Perspective podcast, catering to the latest in ingredient trends, consumer insights, and food news. Brought to you by Corbion.
Hi, welcome to a Fresh Perspective, a food podcast, where we talk about everything food related. I'm CJ, and I'm joined by
Jenni.
And today we're switching it up a little bit, and we are going to talk about kind of some of the generational differences in shopping patterns. So how consumers are shopping and how that kind of changes per all of the different generations that are shopping right now.
I like how this is my topic because I'm pretty sure I got it because of the aged remark from the podcast with Marge, where I said we are more aged than you.
I can neither confirm nor deny that statement.
Okay, so we're talking about generational differences in baked goods.
Yes.
And I think reading the articles that I read to prepare for this, I thought it was very interesting because I'm kind of in the middle of the older generation and then the new, the millennial generation. And so it's interesting to see like where these things are and where they fall. So I want to kick it off with a game, Two Truths and a Lie. Do you know?
Two Truths and a Lie.
Do you know this game? Okay.
I mean,
so
I've played it, not related to food, but yeah.
I haven't either related to food. But okay, so basically I'm going to tell you three statements. Two of them are true, and the third one is a lie. And you have to pick out which ones are true and which one I'm lying about.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm terrified and ready.
Okay. These are all like about my life. Okay, number one. My 89-year-old grandmother eats a buttered bagel with cottage cheese every single morning and has every single day of her adult life. Now,
Not mad at it. I would do it.
My 41-year-old husband has a sweet tooth, and I have personally watched him consume 12 cookies in one sitting. And he is going to love that he's in this. Yes.
He's like, what?
And the last thing is my 28-year-old stepsister prefers all things savory, loves taking shots, and makes the best chicken parm I have ever eaten.
Two truths and a lie.
Yes.
Bagels and cottage cheese. I feel like cookies is definitely true because I have also probably consumed a dozen cookies in one setting, and I'm not even going to fault that. I think that is a truth.
I mean, yes, you're right. Also, notice that we have the three different generations, right? We've got 55 plus, my grandmother, 41-year-old husband is my kind of Gen X in the middle, and then my 28-year-old stepsister is, of course, a millennial.
Yes.
So
I think the sister comment is true. I think she loves savory things, shots, and making good chicken parm. I love chicken parm, so I'm on board with that. And so the lie has to be grandma eating a bagel every day and cottage cheese, which I really like all of those things actually. But
you are the big winner. My grandma.
All I do is win. The younger generations don't know that song probably.
My grandma does not eat a buttered bagel with cottage cheese. She eats plain yogurt every morning.
Every morning?
And has since I was born, or before I was born. Plain yogurt. And according to the generational differences, things that I was reading, people that are in that older category do prefer more sweet, less savory.
Yes.
And the millennial generation prefers things in bite-sized pieces.
Bite-sized. We're snackers. We like snacking. We like quick. So
yes, and savory.
Yeah, we're not as big on the sweet stuff, though we like it to be just a little bit sweet. So we did a big study on breakfast specifically, breakfast eating habits and patterns and what people are buying and why. And we did it for the younger generation, the millennials and the Gen Xers. And that was exactly what ours came up with, is that millennials needed to take 3 minutes or less to make. We wanted it to be easy to take on the go and like snack size so we could eat it throughout the day. So if it took more than that, if it was messy and if it wasn't portable, we were like, bye.
So like ramen cup of noodles takes 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think that I ate those in college. I don't eat them now, but anything that's in a cup and a wrap, burritos. Breakfast burritos are my life. And then the older generation focused more on, like your traditional breakfasty items that you would think of, I think. And they were a little bit more concerned with the healthy things too, I think.
Yes. And that actually leads into my true false.
Ooh.
So I have 2 true falses.
I had a hard time coming up with just one as well.
Oh man. I mean, and obviously how you play this game, I'm going to tell you a statement. You let me know if you think it's true or false. And again, it's based on generational differences. So pay attention to like the ages of people in the statements. Okay. True or false? In 2019, older Americans became more worried about ingredients and began buying organic.
What year?
In 2019, older Americans, which are 55 years old and plus.
I say true. I feel like it happened before that, but maybe last year there was also a rise, so I'm going to go with truth.
Oh, no, it's false.
I hate losing.
Millennials became more worried about ingredients and started buying organic.
Yes, I believe it.
And you know what? I remember this time in my life, like as a younger adult, when I first had my child, and I thought, I need to buy organic everything because it's, everything else is full of, pesticides and all this bad stuff for my baby. And so I'm wondering if that is like not a fallacy, but like the fact that millennials are doing organic. I wonder if that's because they're like in their child rearing years.
Getting ready to have children. And
you care more because it's like, well, I've been putting
I also know that
diet soda and booze in my body my whole life, but I don't want to, put those kind of chemicals in my baby.
I also know that we just research like everything, like literally. I mean, I don't do it with baked goods as much because once I start buying something, I just buy it forever. But first purchase, I will go and research like the house down. I will be watching YouTube videos on how people use it and reading comments, looking at reviews, figuring out what's in it for that initial purchase at least. And then after that, I mean, I don't really ever do it again for that particular product if it's a reoccurring purchase. But I mean, I definitely look at it. So maybe just the rise of all that information being available also played into it.
Okay, that's interesting. So like legitimately, when you're getting ready to buy a loaf of bread or a new kind of bread, you're going to research that bread.
The first time, or I bought it because I was watching a video of somebody doing something crazy with it, like Japanese milk bread. And I'm like, I don't want to try Japanese milk bread. So then I buy it, or I see it at the store and then I research it, but only the initial time.
Are you one of those people though that like, is it because of your job that you research those things, or is it like something you did before you worked at Corbion?
I love food videos, period. I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg, or Corbion or the research, but probably I pay a lot more attention to it now, like what's actually in there. I watched the videos and did all that stuff beforehand, though now I think probably different things in it are more important to me now that I know things about the food world that I didn't know before.
Yes.
So I think probably my priorities in there shifted, but I still
Makes
watch
sense.
the same videos of people like throwing salt at things. And
don't you love those tasty videos
Salt
where
Bae,
they're like,
yeah.
they're, they like make one pass with the spoon and it's all perfect. And then they add like 2 things and then boom, they have like a frittata. Like,
what it
why
leads
can't
me
that
to
be my life?
believe though, is that I can do it that easy. And that is not true.
No.
It's like watching Top Chef or Grey's Anatomy. Like Grey's Anatomy made me want to be a doctor. Watching Top Chef made me want to be a chef, and they make it look so easy. I was like, I can absolutely do this. And I can't do it. And I'm like, nope.
No.
Okay. So next, you had 2 true and falses, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, one more. Okay, 70% of people my age, and I'm 40, prefer sweet croissants and pastries to savory bagels or breads.
Truth. Dang it.
Correct.
Oh, your face led me the other direction. I was like, no.
Why would I be happy if you're wrong?
Well, I don't know, because it was the lull. It was like the disappointment. I was like,
no, I
just
had
kidding.
I had to look at the answer because I had forgotten it.
Oh.
So yes, older Americans prefer sweet. Younger Americans prefer savory. I am 40, and so I actually count in the older American category. It's 34 plus.
I mean, you guys have all the buying power. I mean, millennials.
Sorry for me.
But, a few other things, like when I was reading through it, that I thought were really interesting is that 70% of younger consumers say they're willing to pay at least a little bit more for like things that are sustainable or environmentally friendly.
So
know some of that.
I read that too, but I have questions about that. How do they know it's sustainably raised? Like how, I mean,
so
cattle in general are not sustainably raised, right? So like, are those people vegetarian or do they seek out local beef?
When it comes to beef, I don't know, but I do know that we will, like, I don't purchase things from certain companies that I've read about doing bad things to their cows or something, especially when like their proposition was being nice to cows. So I can see where it gets out. And then I did stop buying that brand. Also, we did a study again on how people would like to find out. And it's really like they want to see it on the package or somewhere like on the aisle. So one of the things that manufacturers can do is to blatantly say something about that. But one other side of the teeter-totter is while it is, or we found last year when we were doing the study that while it is a something that will help millennials make that decision or the younger generations make that decision if they're trying to decide between two, it is not the biggest thing that will make them choose a brand. So like if I'm looking at two kinds of bread and I'm like, ooh, they both look really good, that will sway me and I'll pay a little bit more for it. But it's not the thing that makes me stop walking down the aisle and go, I want that bread. Does that make sense?
Interesting. Yes.
So
yeah, I honestly never think about those things when I shop. Like I'm like, well, we need 6 loaves of bread this week because I have 4 children who eat bread constantly. And I'm like, where's the 89-cent loaf? I mean, honestly, they're going to eat it anyway and they eat junk constantly. Even if I buy good stuff, I have a lovely loaf of like oat nut bread sitting in my kitchen right now. I'm the only one that ever eats a slice of it. My kids are all like Wonder Bread style, that, white, delicious sandwich bread. So
do you prefer, so 2 questions. Do you buy things online? Do you go to the store? Do you do a combo of it? Do you do like an Amazon locker?
It's a combo right now. So it's changed because of COVID-19.
Yeah.
Typically I would wait for my kids to go to school or whatever. And then I go to the Aldi, and that would be like once every other week. And then we go to Costco once a month for like the big stuff that we need because we do have a large family. And that's what I used to do. And now I use Instacart when I can, or occasionally I'll put a mask on and go to the store, but it's a hot, sweaty mess.
I buy a lot through Instacart as well, and Blue Apron and meal delivery kits. The other thing I wanted to ask, because I definitely do prefer soft textures, but it said most millennials and Gen Z consumers regularly buy bread and prefer those that have the softer textures. And I do like the bread, but I like it to have very specific. Like I wanted to have like a crusty outside artisan experience with soft on the inside texture. But
yes, like great sourdough.
Yeah.
It's like the only bread I ever want. Chewy outside, like has some structure on the inside. Yeah. Now I just want sourdough.
Yes. Well, we are already at our limit. So
oh my gosh.
If you are looking for more information on how consumers are purchasing, how the different generations purchase, what they prefer, what's inside my head, you can head on over to The Baker's Take and find all of those amazing articles, recipes, products, videos, everything your heart desires.
And let us know if you agree. I want to know if, tell us, first of all, are you in the aged crowd or are you a millennial? And do you agree? Like, do you prefer sweets if you're in the older group? Do you prefer savory? I'm interested in hearing what y'all think.
Yeah. And how are you buying things? Are you buying online? Are you ordering online and picking it up? Are you going to the store? Are you a brave soul? Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever that button is right now. And thank you for listening.
Don't forget, keep creating.